We are gathered here at the appointed hour, not to celebrate, though we as a nation have much to celebrate, but rather to commemorate and to honor those that gave the last full measure of devotion that we might have a free and independent nation. For too long, we have allowed this concept that we are celebrating Memorial Day to linger in our national discourse. Let us here highly resolve to strike those words from our vocabulary. You celebrate the 4th of July or Labor Day or Veterans Day, but you commemorate Memorial Day. Recently, I had the chance to assist in paying the nation's last respects to two brothers from Indiana who had fought in the Civil War and had died and been cremated and had their ashes sitting on a shelf at a funeral home, one since 1908 and one since 1912. For over 100 years, they were forgotten, but as of May 11th, they are no longer forgotten. They now lie with thousands of their brothers and sisters in arms in the peace and quiet of Arlington National Cemetery. If you want to get a real gut check on the cost of our freedom, take the time to walk through Arlington or any of our national cemeteries, and you will no doubt feel the weight of the debt we owe to those that made their breast a bulwark against the enemy and gave their lives that the nation might live. In 1847, Theodore O'Hara wrote the poem Bivouac of the Dead in honor of Kentucky troops who were killed in the Mexican-American War. His words are as moving today as they were then. The muffled drum's sad roll has beat the soldier's last tattoo. No more on life's parade shall meet that brave and fallen few. On fame's eternal camping ground their silent tents to spread, and glory guards with solemn round the bivouac of the dead. One of the reasons that Memorial Day has lost a bit of its meaning for Americans is that Congress in 1968 passed a law which meant that in 1971 Memorial Day was moved from its traditional day of May 30th to the fourth Monday of May to give us a 3-day weekend. Many of the people here today have never known a federal Memorial Day on the 30th, save those rare ones where the fourth Monday and the 30th happen to be the same day. By changing it, we cheapen the day, and most people see it as a kickoff to summer rather than a solemn day of remembrance. In General John A. Logan's General Order Number 11 establishing the first official Memorial Day observance for the Grand Army of the Republic, he stated, "The 30th day of May 1868 is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every village, city, and hamlet churchyard in the land. In this observance, no form of ceremony is prescribed, but post and comrades will in their own way arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. We are organized, comrades, as our regulations tell us, for the purpose, among other things, of preserving and strengthening those kind and fraternal feelings which have bound together the soldiers, sailors, and Marines who united to suppress the late rebellion. What can aid more to assure this result than by cherishing tenderly the memory of our heroic dead, who made their hearts a barricade between our country and its foes? Their soldier lives were the reveille of freedom, and its foes to a race in chains, and their deaths a tattoo of rebellious tyranny in arms. We should guard their graves with sacred vigilance. All that the consecrated wealth and toils of this nation can add to their adornment and security is but a fitting tribute to the memory of her slain defenders. Let no wanton foot tread rudely on such hallowed grounds. Let pleasant paths invite the coming and going of reverent visitors and fond mourners. Let no vandalism of avarice or neglect, no ravages of time, testify to the present or the coming generations that we have forgotten as a people the cost of a free and undivided republic. If other eyes grow dull, and other hands slack, other hearts cold in the solemn trust, ours shall keep it as long as the light and warmth of life remains in us. Let us then at the time appointed gather round their sacred remains, and garland the passionless mounds above them with the choicest flowers of springtime. Let us raise above them the dear old flag that they saved from dishonor. Let us in this solemn presence renew our pledges to aid and assist those whom they have left among us, a sacred charge upon a nation's gratitude, the soldiers and sailors, widow and orphan. It would seem to be clear enough from his order what we are supposed to be about on Memorial Day. Remember the fallen and support those that they left behind. Today we must also remember that our soldiers suffering from trauma does not end when they come home. Indeed, it may just be the start of it. Last year, more active duty soldiers committed suicide than those that were killed in combat. On average, one active duty soldier and 22 former members of the military take their own lives each day. For them, the war goes on, and we need to do a far better job of reaching out and helping them through the mental battlefields that awaits them when they get home. For our Vietnam vets, there were no welcome home signs, no parades. They endured being called names and being spit on when they returned. For our current vets, we have not made that same mistake. We welcome them home with parades and parties, but then far too often we turn our back when the music ends and expect that they will just get over it and go back to living their lives as they did before. We have a debt to these men and women, and it is up to us and every American to ensure that they don't become another reason to commemorate this day, but rather that they get the help that they need and continue to be a reason to celebrate them and their service in November on Veterans Day. Let the word go forth from this time and place that we remember and that we will not forget. We will uphold the memory of our honored dead in the hopes that by their sacrifice we might indeed live in a world where wars shall cease and peace shall spread over all the land. For it is only then that these honored dead, these brave men and women, will truly be able to rest in peace. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.